Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inkfinger Cat, back with another card making video using up the Crafter's Companion magazine kit that I've been working on for quite some time. So there is a whole series, a whole playlist of videos for you to go and check out of what I have been doing. I'm really down to the final scraps now. So I've got a pile of very small scraps top left and slightly larger scraps on the right. And I'm going to make two cards today because I ended up making two cards. I ummed and ahed about what I was doing. So the intention for this whole series is trying to use up the pattern paper, but also restricting myself so that most of the time I'm just using the stuff that was in the kit with the magazine, with some added little bits like cardstock, gems, etc. Occasionally I've added in other sentiments. I don't today. I'm sticking to the exact ones that are in the kit. But yeah, I've been trying my best to come up with different ways of using it until I have used it up. And I have kept all the scraps, so there really are some tiny scraps in there, not just larger ones. I am at the point now though where I need to start throwing some scraps away. I think that some of them are ridiculous, but we're very close. I think there's possibly maybe one or two more cards left in this particular series, and that's it. So I sort of made two cards as I was going along. So you'll see in the first one I did that panel going across, and then a panel that I mounted, and I mounted it onto some craft foam so that it got a bit of dimension. I have then stamped my hummingbirds, which is one of the stamps that's in the stamp set with this particular magazine kit. And then I am adding another panel to the one that I have used, quite a large panel of the pattern. And I am going to add a more solid coloured pink underneath as a panel on the top. Okay, let's go back to the stamped images, and I'm doing some very loose watercolouring of these images. I'm using inks. I've got, what did I start with? Island Indigo, then Parakeet Party. I'm not, I think, fairly confident Parakeet Party isn't in existence anymore. I'm not sure about Island Indigo actually. And then I'm adding in some Starry Sky, which again is a retired, I think it was an in colour, along with Parakeet Party. And I'm just basically adding colour to these beautiful hummingbirds. I am not really paying attention to what colour they would be in real life because I actually don't know. I can see on the pattern paper there is clearly a picture of one, and it's got kind of a lime green chest, and then there's some browns and there's some teals and some purples. So yeah, I've sort of gone in keeping those, but mine is kind of a more pastel-y version because I've used the watery watercolour kind of effect with the ink. Now, I had stamped them onto some adhesive paper. I have now covered up, on that second card I have now covered up the actual hummingbird that was on the picture because I didn't want two hummingbirds, one that looked real and one that looked like I've done an interesting job of colouring it. So that was the reason why I coloured that. I changed where that pink panel was going. But yeah, I've used adhesive cardstock from my Diamond Press, and it does watercolour quite nicely, really. And then obviously, because it's self-adhesive, it's got that in the background. Okay, now I have stamped a sentiment from the set of stamps, and I'm just looking for pieces of the pattern paper that are big enough to create a frame for my sentiment there, and just choosing which one I'm going to add it to. And I decide I'm going to add it to some craft foam to just come off the edge of this panel. And there we go, there's that one done pretty much. And then this second one, I end up with, I believe, the kind of the tealy coloured cardstock that I had used to mat the bottom layer. I add it to that one. I have to say this adhesive paper is just so easy to use because, especially for matting and layering, you don't need to think about at least one layer of the adhesive. Okay, this one I decided to add on the foam, just so it had got a little bit of dimension because the rest of it was quite a flat card. and then I'm just popping my acrylic block on the top to make sure that it stays still. And then I have made my card bases. Now they are from a white cardstock, but it's definitely got a yellowy tinge to it. So it's slightly more cream than I would have wanted, but I still think it works nicely. And that's my cards pretty much made. I'm going to add in some gems. I just keep it to some silver gems. First approach, I just went with a scattered approach. And then this one, I went with 2 at the bottom and 3 at the top, just in a little line. It took a little bit more fiddling because sometimes they're just not quite straight. Okay, this year I have been all about the insides of cards as well as the outsides, and so I am adding in some more of that pattern paper. Again, just finding scraps that are the right kind of colours of the ones that are used on the outside, and I'm going to add those to the inside. And that, oh yeah, my gem came off, I hadn't pressed it in place enough, and that is my 2 cards done. Hope you've enjoyed that. I've got one larger panel of the pattern paper left, and then the rest of it is just scraps. So I think maybe 2 cards maximum that we've got left before I will sign off this series. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed using this pack. I don't know that I'm going to do the rest of them today, the day I'm filming, or whether I'm going to put it away again and then maybe grab it out next month. I'm not quite sure. But it's been nice to revisit, and I've now got those 2 other hummingbirds that I need to use as well. Please do subscribe if you want to see more. There are playlists to check out. I'd appreciate your thumbs up if you enjoyed it and a comment below. Until next time, bye-bye.